If we talk about a company that produces cars that are designed in military style but also comfortable to drive in the city, Rezvani is one solution. Most renowned for their previously wild projects, Rezvani grabbed the interest of the public eye quite convincingly with their most capable vehicle on and off-road. Aftermarket companies that specialize in this kind of work must be unique to stand up to their competitors, which is exactly what Rezvani did. One of them is Rezvani Hercules 6x6. Conveniently, they added some extremely quirky features that differentiate them from other companies that create similar vehicles. The Rezvani Hercules was made available in late 2020 and offered plenty of features to boast about with its release. However, it will cost a minimum of $195,000 and upwards of $350,000, based on trim level. The Hercules is based on the Jeep's Gladiator chassis, 6x6, though very little of the Jeep components remain. Still being based on the JL chassis, it featured solid axles, which articulate exponentially better than traditional McPherson-style suspension setups. The Hercules has a curb weight of 4,651 bs, which isn't very light. To stop the large 6x6, Rezvani incorporated 8 piston calipers and 16-inch rotors to give the stopping power it needed. These rotors paired with the Hercules were bigger than the wheels on some vehicles. Rezvani also offered an upgraded version, the Hercules 6x6 Military, which was an armored version of the regular one. It featured bulletproof glass and body panels, explosive protection, smokescreen diversion, door handles that shock you, and blinding lights. The Rezvani Hercules was capable of handling any situation thrown at it, especially with what was included. It also featured gas masks and an EMP system, for which we do not know the proper use. For this insanely spec-ed out model, it will set you back a minimum of $325,000. Rezvani also offered an upgraded version, the Hercules 6x6 Military, which was an armored version of the regular one. It featured bulletproof glass and body panels, explosive protection, smokescreen diversion, door handles that shock you, and blinding lights. The Rezvani Hercules was capable of handling any situation thrown at it, especially with what was included. It also featured gas masks and an EMP system, for which we do not know the proper use. For this insanely spec-ed out model, it will set you back a minimum of $325,000. To match the wicked looks of the Hercules, Rezvani gave you a few engines and interior options to choose from. The interior wasn't outstandingly nice, like the German interiors, though they offered a plethora of stitching combinations for seats, to accommodate the driver's preference. Coming as standard equipment was the 3.6L Pentastar V6, sourced from the Jeep Gladiator. It was capable of pushing 285 horsepower and 260 feet lbs of torque. With its starting price tag, it's probably safe to say you opted for the larger engine choices. This also wasn't up to par with Rezvani, so they offered a 6.4L SRT V8, which pushed a healthy 500 horsepower. Courtesy of the low-end torque from V8s, the Hercules certainly had a decent power band, enough for Rezvani to list its power figures.